Hey guys, so today I'm doing a very exciting video. I'm showing you some of my all-time favorite contemporary books. I'm a contemporary fanatic. It's basically all I read. I don't really read dystopian or any of those books. I don't really know. I don't really read those. I read occasionally some of those when they get really recommended to me, but I really just stick to romancy, sappy, contemporary, young adult, new adult books. They're my favorite. So I want to show you guys some of my favorites so I can spread the contemporary love or whatever. And yeah, I hope you guys know this video. So just if you're interested. I'm starting with young adult books. The first one I've got is Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. This is the second in a companion novel, which is called Anna and the French Kiss, which is very popular and I've read, but I only own Lola and the Boy Next Door, and Lola is actually my favorite, so I really recommend this book. It's a really nice, easy read. I think I read it in like a day, and I really liked the characters in this one. Lola is so creative and fun. If you're a creative and fun person, especially with your style and clothing and stuff, I think this is a very good book for you. And yeah, all these books are very like romancy, so yeah, that's what's to expect with the contemporary anyway, but yeah, it's one of my favorites for young adult, but I really love this book. Next, I have The Duff by Kody Keplinger. I adore this book. I read it in also a day. Most of these, I read books in a day all the time, but this is so good. It's the designated ugly fat friend. And I just loved the characters in this one as well. The charisma that the main character, Bianca, has is just so funny and perfect, and I really like loved every second of the story. I loved the characters, and there was a little bit of a family aspect to it which made it really nice, and it wasn't all just 100% romance. It was friendships and family and other like things, and I don't know, I just really liked this book, so yeah, I recommend this. Another young adult is My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I love this book very much. It's about this girl named Samantha, and she meets this guy next door named Jace, and he lives next door, obviously. I really liked this book. It was nice, especially in this one, more so than The Duff. There's a lot of family aspect to it, and I really liked that because most of the books I read are just like 100% romance, so these like young adult ones that have some sort of family stuff in them too are really nice to read. And the plot in this was really great, so again, so last for young adult, I just have John Green books, which is sort of cheating because I have 3 right here, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this subject because all of you probably already know how wonderful John Green is, but if you have not read The Fault in Our Stars, which you probably have, if you haven't, I don't know what you're doing, Looking for Alaska, which you should also read, and this is Will Grayson, which is also co-written by David Levin, and it's a really good book. So if you haven't read any of these books, just go read them because they're just sort of like necessity books that you have to read. Yeah. John Green is like the man. Like, you need to read John Green. Now for my new adult books. The first one I'm going to show you is my favorite book. It's just, I love it so much. It was the first book that really introduced me to the new adult genre, so to speak, and that is Beautiful Disaster by Jamie Mcguire. I know this is a very popular new adult book. It's one of the most popular ones, and I just love it. I love the characters. Travis and Abby are just my favorite characters. And there's also Walking Disaster. So this is in Abby's point of view. This is in Travis's point of view. So both excellent books. I love this. It's kind of like the good girl, bad boy type thing. And then I just got this, which is the novella called A Beautiful Wedding. So these are just all perfect, and they're just all my favorite books, okay? So if you haven't read Beautiful Disaster, I would read it because it's the best thing ever, and you'll love it just as much as I do, I promise. Next, which is probably like my second favorite, is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, which looks like this, and I just love this book so much. It's amazing. It's one of those books where you're reading it and you're like, oh, this is what the book's about. Like, this is what it's about. And then you're like a couple more chapters in and you're like, wait, nope, that's not what the book's about. It's about this. This is what the book's about. And then you get further and you're like, no, it's about this. You don't know what this book's about until like the last chapter, okay? It is so good. And I was so shocked and like this book is just so good. Like, it's very unpredictable, which you find with a lot of romance books. They can tend to be pretty predictable, but this one wasn't. And Losing Hope is the second one's in Sky's point of view and this one's in Holder's point of view, so they're like the same book, again, sort of like with the Beautiful Disaster thing, but so good. Next I have Slammed, which is also by Colleen Hoover, and I hold a very well place in my heart for this book because Slammed, it incorporates slam poetry in here. Slam poetry is like my favorite thing. I love poetry, I write poetry. Poetry is just, I'm just a huge poetry fanatic, and to have like a book, a new adult book by Colleen Hoover that has slam poetry in it, that's just beautiful. Like, I can't. And there's also Point of Retreat, which is the second one. And then there's This Girl, which is sort of like a parallel to the first one, but in the guy's point of view, but not really because it's different. The first one is in Laken's point of view, which is the main girl character, and the last two are in Will's point of view, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, So these are really, really good if you like slam poetry, and that's a car. If you like slam poetry, I'd really recommend these to you. Even if you don't like slam poetry, maybe you'll find a new love, or maybe you'll just read these because they're really good, and they're just Colleen Hoover, guys, Colleen Hoover. Next, we've got The Coincidence of Callie and Kayden by Jessica Sorensen. This book is lovely. I read it a while ago, meaning like December, but I read so many books that I can't remember. Maybe it was November when I read this, but this is a really good book. It's about Kayden and Callie. Who would have thought that? And it's about this girl, and I know she goes to college, and she knew this guy, Kayden, from when she was in high school, and then she somehow bumps into him again at college, and all this stuff happens. And there's a second one called The Redemption of Callie and Kayden that I haven't read yet, and I just bought it, and I didn't know it was out yet. Guys, freaking out, right? I got this yesterday. I didn't know it was out yet, and I just freaked out when I bought it, so yeah, I gotta read that one. But yeah, these are lovely books. Well, the first one is, I mean, I can just vouch and say the second one's lovely. Next, we have The Edge of Never by J.A. Redmerski. I love this book. It's like a 400-page book. Yeah, I read it in a day. So if that doesn't tell you it's good, I don't know what. I know that there's a little bit of mixed reviews about this book. I know I've recommended it to people and they haven't 100% loved it as much as I've loved it, but I've also heard incredible rave reviews on it on GOODREADS and YouTube about people being obsessed with it like I am. So who really knows? Give it a try and see if you like it. And there's a second one called The Edge of Always, which I also got yesterday. Guys, so excited for this. I'm so excited. I love these books. It's about Cameron and Andrew, and I love these books because they're very like cool. Like, it's not just romance. It's like they go on this big trip, and it's like this road trip, and it's like finding themselves, and it's good. So I'd read these. And my last favorite contemporary new adult book is Easy by Tamara Weber, and I'm obsessed with this book. It is great. I read it in a day. That should just be my thing, because I read books in a day. I really like this one because it didn't just show romance, it showed a lot of different things in it, and I learned a lot from this book, really, and I just really like it. I don't know, I've heard a lot of great things about it, and it's just a beautiful book, and the characters in here are great, and just obsessed. So guys, those are all of my book recommendations for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more book videos from me, let me know in the comments below or wherever, and I will get to that. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Bye! It showed, I just hit myself in the face with the book.